just want to say thank you everybody for coming to our program. Can you everybody give a round of applause and welcome Bruce. It's all about bugs today. We have some fall programs coming up, so our pumpkin carving contest and our family craft nights. We have calendars over at the library, so stop in and get some of those, okay?
Wait, what?
We have some calendars over at the library with everything that we're doing for October and November.
Including like the cat find thing?
Yes.
The what?
Yes.
The
A
cat
hide and seek over there. So I'm gonna let Bruce get started here.
Well, thank you very much. And again, thanks for coming, everybody.
I'm not from
We're going to do
You're from
a bug show where we'll try to get you involved in the show.
No question.
Which means I have a bunch of live bugs along
Hey!
that you will be able to
Touch?
see close up, touch, maybe even hold, depending on how comfortable you feel. Now, I always like to showcase a lot of the bugs that I've collected over the years because some of them are pretty amazing, okay? These are all from this area, okay? All these insects you can find in different habitats, different times of the year, different times of the day throughout the summer season. These are still hanging around, but they won't be around longer. They're heading south, right?
South?
Where are they off to? Florida?
Mexico.
Yeah.
Are they in North Carolina?
What's that?
Are they in North Carolina?
Yeah, they're in North Carolina, but everything in the United States pretty much heads south to Mexico, except for those that are in California. Because there's a small population of monarchs in California that stay in California all winter long. And they had all kinds of festivals and everything to celebrate the monarchs there, but those populations have really, really declined and almost disappeared because California's really experienced some extreme weather events. I mean, flooding and wildfires, all sorts of stuff. It's not just tough on people, it's tough on a lot of critters. So they're barely hanging on.
And like yesterday, there was a flood in Florida and in the south.
I know. Big hurricane went through, didn't it?
And destroyed everything.
They should send some of that rain up here. Not all of it, but some. We could use.
If you were in a hurricane,
But anyway, these big beautiful moths also live around here. You don't see them very often because they're only flying around in the early part of the year, usually June and July, and they hide in the daytime and they only fly at night.
yeah, and same with fireflies.
But this one here, I raise. You usually raise between 150 and 200 big green caterpillars that turn into cocoons.
Like
This is an example of a cocoon that they make.
It looks like
They spend the whole rest of the summer, fall, and winter, and most of the spring in this cocoon stage. They spend 9 or 10 months in here doing nothing. And then they emerge as a big, beautiful moth. And after that long resting period, guess how long they live? 7 to 10 days.
What?
That doesn't seem right.
No. Gosh,
You wait that long,
a year,
finally you come out, you're a beautiful creature.
and then you die.
You can fly. You can go on dates. And you have to do it in a week to 10 days. Just doesn't seem fair, does it? But I can keep them longer than 7 to 10 days if I store them in the refrigerator. And I have some that are just barely hanging on in little sleeping bags
In the refrigerator?
that were in the refrigerator, but I popped them into the cooler before I came here, so I have them, and you'll be able to hold them. You'll be able to see them, you'll be able to feel them, you'll be able to smell them.
Ew.
They actually have kind of an interesting smell. It's kind of a refreshing, almost like an air freshener smell. And when I walk out in my garage, the first time one has emerged, I go, the moths have emerged. I have a good nose and I can actually smell when they emerge. And the caterpillars smell really good too. They're like little air fresheners.
Can I eat them?
Keeps my garage smelling fresh. Even though they poop a lot, their poop doesn't smell.
What?
Okay?
I just learned about poop in school today.
So anyway,
Learn about no poop.
that's all I'm going to say about these guys. Here we have some pretty amazing butterflies and moths from all over the world. Big bird wings from Southeast Asia. Blue morphos from Central and South America.
Oh, I see.
This column here consists of some wild silk moths that live around here and all over the world. These 3 species live here. That's an atlas moth from Malaysia, and that's a Madagascar moon moth. And there's a lot more out there too, but I don't have every single bug in the world in my collection.
Do you
I have to have a huge mansion.
Do you have a cricket? Do you have crickets and centipedes?
Not that I bring to my shows.
Aww.
But I do go to Chuck and Don's and get crickets a couple times a month
Yay!
to feed to my tarantulas.
Aww.
And I brought a very nice tarantula with me today.
What do you mean?
Her name's Rosie. I'll let you hold it if you want. But that comes towards the end of the show.
accidentally smush it?
We have, which one do you want to go first?
What happens if it's smushed?
Okay, you could go first.
I want to.
We have a bearded dragon and he likes cricket.
Oh yes, crickets are kind of all-purpose food for lots of creatures. Tarantulas like them. Bearded dragons like them. Anoles like them. Snakes like them. They're tasty. Try them sometime. Cook them first before you eat them, though. Why don't we eat them?
No! I don't want to eat it.
What's that?
What about spiders?
You'll learn a little bit about spiders. But we're going to have a whole variety of things that we'll show you and talk about. But we are in a library. So if you really want to learn about a certain kind of insect, check with your librarian, Miss Lambo over there.
Lamborghini? Miss Lamborghini?
I forgot her name, so I just called her by what she's got on her shirt. Okay? When you're an old guy, you can't remember things for worth a darn. You get forgetful. Here we have beetles from all over the world.
I have an ant-tail that...
Why do they have wings?
Because lots of beetles do have wings. Ladybugs are a beetle. They have wings. Fireflies have wings.
Your mama
They're a beetle.
Wait, you have all kinds of walking sticks.
I know. Yeah.
There's giant walks and walking sticks.
And the little walking sticks are from around here. The really big ones are from the tropics. This one here is from Malaysia. That one there is from New Guinea. Guess what? Some walking sticks can fly. Like this one here, that's a flying stick. Some are covered with spines, like the spiny stick. Some of them can jump like grasshoppers. They're called jumping sticks.
This is how you use the bathroom.
There's a lot about bugs most people don't know about. Okay, that's the introduction.
Why do you have this?
What's that?
No.
I guess you can. We'd rather you go to the bathroom than pee on the floor. I think he's heading in the right direction. Question, young lady.
Why do you have a freezer? Is there a bug that needs to stay cold in there, right?
Here's the thing about coolers. They help keep things cool in the summertime if you put cold packs in. And in the wintertime, they help keep things warm. Because they're an insulated container. They hold heat and they hold cold. This time of the year, it's kind of in between. I don't really need cold packs or ice packs or hot packs. But when I head out to do a show like this, if this would have been January, it was a typical Minnesota winter, I'd need to heat up some hot packs and put them in there before I took them out for a long ride. It's about a 55-minute drive from where I live to Prescott.
You knew that. There's a person who does this only, it's all about steaks. I went to his before and for a new, but this is exactly like it only does.
Okay.
It's called Snake Discovery.
Yes, I know Miss Emily who started that snake discovery center.
My mom knows the person who did the snake discovery.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a question.
Another one?
So I have an ant outside in my front yard, and I named it the Bob Kingdom.
Okay. We do have a young audience here, and we want to keep you busy. So I'm going to bring out the first bug, which are big, beautiful moths that live in this area. I'll tell you a little bit about it first. This is the life cycle of the Cecropia moth. It starts out as an egg, like lots of butterflies and moths. And then it emerges as a caterpillar after about 2 weeks. But this caterpillar gets big. Gets about as big as a dill pickle. Those big green pickles that you get with your hot dog or hamburger.
Can I eat it? What happens if you think it's a dill pickle and you eat it?
Well, you know, I don't think I'd want to eat these. They're kind of squishy and watery.
I would.
There's other bugs that I would choose before I would eat one of these.
Like a cricket?
A cricket, exactly. Or a flavored mealworm.
What about
But anyway, these were in our backyards and in the surrounding countryside, but we don't see them very much because they're up in the trees. They're green,
They're green
and
they look like
even when they turn into a cocoon, they'll stay usually in the tree or the bush, and they'll attach it right to the branch. Okay. Now, I have about a half a dozen of these still alive, and you can hold them, but when you hold them, you want to be careful that
they don't go away.
If you grab them by the wings, you have to do it a special way.
Like what?
This front edge of the front wing is the strongest part of the wing. The outside part will tear very easily. So, when I pull them out of their little envelopes here, like this.
I wanted to do this.
See, it's moving a little bit. Not super live, like I said, they're barely hanging on.
Can I eat it?
No.
This one I think is going to be a little live. Yeah. But anyway, see, I'm holding them by the front edge of the wing like this. They'll sit right on your hands like this. And if you want to get your picture taken with them,
Let me. Yes.
now it's best to hold them in your hands like this And only really touch the wings if you're going to be moving around. You might want to share them with your neighbor. You might want to stick one on your shirt, get your picture taken with them. Okay? We don't want to be running around with them though, because sometimes you're carrying them, falls off when you're running, you can't stop in midair, and then you squish it. Okay?
Yeah.
And we don't want to do that.
Because they're beautiful,
Okay.
young, old
They're
creatures.
beautiful, and I want to keep them alive as long as I possibly can. Okay? So if you want one,
Physically possible.
once again, I'm going to remind you, these do live in our area. They're not around in the environment right now. I tricked these guys into thinking that spring just came a couple weeks ago.
But it's
Okay?
fun.
Because I stored them in the refrigerator the whole time
Why?
so that they didn't.
Oh yeah, like the thing that
So
you
I
like,
can
cut off your
use them
finger or something.
over a 6-month
put it in
period
ice.
rather than have everything come out in June and July.
Or like it's a numbing spray.
So if you guys want one, put your hands out like this, and I'll just set one right on your hand. Okay?
I want to hold them. I want to hold somebody. I want to work on them.
Now some of them are going to be in pretty good condition. Some of them are going to be a little old and beat up.
I
But
might die.
they were all alive yesterday when I used them. I was at St. Croix, or I was at,
I'm kind of scared. I'm low-key scared.
I was at Fort Snelling State Park
It doesn't.
yesterday.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Take him. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And it was very chilly out there. It was like the morning program.
Oh my god. It's scary.
Mine's not even
Jimmo.
Oh, my skin. Take it.
That was nice to be able to start. Would you like one? Okay. So what we just looked at is what we call the Cecropia moth.
What
Okay,
the?
and it's spelled with a C. It's Cecropia. And if you Google it, you can find some more information
Why do you
on
like
it.
your detector?
It's native to our area.
Are we gonna get the hold on?
Just hold on. Okay. We also have the Polyphemus and the Luna moth that live here in the state. Now, most of these are found in the big lake and wooded areas of Minnesota, from like Brainerd on north to the Canadian border. You can still find some in the St. Croix River Valley as well, which is very wooded. But these, sometimes some years you see more of these, other years you see more of the Cecropia. Okay? So they're all out there. You pay attention, you'll be able to see them. Now, the next insect that I have is very different. Actually, 2 of them.
Yes.
And they're very different from each other.
Will they like each
One's
other?
a true insect, which means it has how many legs?
6.
6. Okay.
Chill.
The other one has, between 150 and 200 legs.
Oh my! I think they're millipedes.
What comes to mind when I mention that?
I said no.
Yep, centipede. What else?
Millipede.
Millipede. Now,
It's a millipede.
what do you know about millipedes and centipedes? Which ones are the speedy ones?
It has millipedes?
Centipedes. Centipedes are too fast to use in a show like this. So, I use millipedes, which move very slowly. They're not going to bite anybody, and kids feel pretty comfortable with them. Okay? The other critter that I have, hey guys, hey, just out of respect, can you kind of quiet down? Okay. The other critter that I have in these boxes that I'm going to pass around is a large cockroach from Madagascar.
I've seen them.
Now, some of you may have seen them maybe at a zoo or a museum,
Did we get to hold them?
and you'll be able to get a chance to hold them if you want. Okay? Some kids, they look at them and they go, oh, don't want to look, don't even want to look at them. Well, you don't have to. Okay? Now, why do I use those? Well, first of all, they're big. They're very durable. I can use them for about 3 or 4 years because that's about how long they live. They're easy to take care of, and I can use them all year round. Those moths that we just held, I can only have those around from about April until about the end of September. And then I have to wait for the next spring to roll around.
And the next generation of them.
Yep. But with the roaches and the millipedes, I can use them all year round. And I do, because I do birthday parties, library shows, and so forth. Okay?
Wait, you
Now-
do birthday parties?
You do.
Can you go to my
Now
birthday
here
party?
we have the millipede.
Oh, I've seen one of those before.
And yes, you probably have. These are not from around here, however.
Does that look like a...
These are from the southern United States. Places like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia.
Why
Okay?
do I want...
They're called American brown millipedes. And when they're nervous, they curl up into a little ball or a coil like this.
Why did I just step on
If one of them does that to you, just leave them curled up, okay? Don't grab a hold of them and stretch them out because you're bigger and stronger than they are. They're using their muscles to curl up, and if you stretch them out, then their muscles get stretched and damaged. And usually, they'll die within a week. Okay, so, especially if you do it over and over, okay? So, if you got one and, you know, it's just not doing anything, you want a more active one, just gently put it back in the box.
And get another one?
Get one that's actually moving around. They're not going to bite anybody. They're not going to make any fast motions.
Wait,
Okay?
I have a question.
And they glide kind of like a little train. Okay? Now, when you hold them, you want to hold everything close to the ground, and you want to stay around the box that you're at. You don't want to be running around all over the room because that's when accidents happen. That's when the bugs get stepped on and injured. So we don't want to do that. If I take good care of these and handle them properly, I can keep them going for 3 or 4 years. Okay? When you're done with them, just put them back in the box. We don't want to turn anything loose on the floor because we don't want them to accidentally get sat on or stepped on. Okay? Now, that's the millipedes. Here we have the cockroaches.
What? Yay! I get to... Wait.
And here is the male. The male tends to have a wider body, and it's got these little horns near the front part of the body. The female, well, she doesn't have sticky feet. She's getting a little older, and her claws are starting to get dull, so she can't hang on very good. Some of them are good at hanging on, others
still on your shirt.
aren't. Okay? Now, these do not bite, but they're trickier to pick up because they a lot of times can hang on to the bottom of the box pretty tightly. So you have to kind of wiggle your fingers underneath the body.
Can I just
Kind of like
give me your
this.
Robux or they'll come out?
So they can just hang right on.
Now I give you all your Robux.
When you're done with them, the best way to get them off your hand, as you can see, they stick pretty good, is to just put your hand in the bottom of the box and give them a little nudge. They'll walk right off. Now, if you have one of these guys that's getting ready to get out, you don't want to pick it up,
My funny bone.
you just go,
I just broke my
just give them a little tap in the okay? Don't pick up the box and start banging it on the floor, because that's not necessary, plus it's not fair for all the other bugs, okay? Now,
I'm gonna kiss him.
Each box has 2 hissing cockroaches and 4 millipedes. Remember, if they're curled up like this, you can still pick them up, hold them, but leave them curled up. Okay?
I want to smack them on them.
So we're going to pass, I'll probably pass around six boxes or so. We'll see how that does. Remember, we want to keep the box on the ground. Oh, you got one of the big guys. Now, hopefully you had an opportunity to have a close encounter with the millipedes and the cockroaches. And you noticed that they both had this hard outer shell, right?
Yeah.
You know what that's called? It's called an exoskeleton. Exo means outside, and of course skeleton means, your skeleton.
And ants have the same thing.
Yep, exactly. All arthropods have the same thing. And insects are a group of arthropods. Spiders are a group of arthropods. So are millipedes and centipedes. Okay? Arthropod means jointed legs. Okay? So all arthropods have jointed legs and an exoskeleton that's usually divided into many, many different segments. Those millipedes had about 15 to 20 segments. Okay? And each segment had 4 legs. So if you've got 20 segments and 4 legs per segment, how many legs is that? That would be 80. And there are millipedes that get as long as this box in the tropics.
What?
And they can get that big around. But if it's a millipede, it's not going to bite you. If it's a large centipede, then leave it alone. Because the large centipedes can have a painful bite. It's not deadly, it's not going to kill you, but still, it could be painful. Now, here are some different arachnids. Arachnids have 8 legs. We're most familiar with the spiders. And the biggest spiders are tarantulas. Here's a black emperor scorpion. They also have 8 legs, but they have these big pinchers and a tail with a stinger. Then there's vinegaroons. And all kinds of different arachnids. And it's the scorpions that really cause the most problems. And it's a lot of times the little guys that have a really nasty sting. In most cases it won't kill you if you're an adult. But sometimes if it's a little kid that gets stung by a really venomous scorpion, well, then that can be fatal. Okay? And some of the nastiest ones are located in desert areas, especially in the Middle East. This one here, the black emperor, I use that in my show when I could use them, when I could get them, and I'd let kids hold it.
Can I hold it? I want to hold it.
But this one here is dried up and very delicate, so it's just for looking at. Okay? But I do have Rosie the tarantula with me, and she is the kind of tarantula that works really well if you're going to hold, because it doesn't move fast, it's not mean, and the claws aren't super sharp and long. Okay? I have another tarantula at home, it's called a curly hair. That's my backup tarantula. In case Rosie molts or gets injured and needs to take 3 or 4 weeks off. Then I'll still have a live tarantula, but I can't pass Curly around because she's got really sharp claws and she likes to cling very tightly to whoever's holding her. And kids freak out when they hold it because it really digs its claws in. And you think, well, kids with tender skin think it hurts, but they freak out. They want it gone. They don't want it on there.
Does it bleed? Does it bleed?
No, it's never bled.
No, like your skin.
No, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Now, this is Rosie the tarantula, and what works the best, what I found out what works the best is for everybody that wants to hold Rosie to sit in a circle. Okay, I'm going to stand here, make a circle around me, sitting next to each other. Okay? Some of you guys can sit. We want a big circle though. We want a big circle. So, why don't you sit on the blue line over there, you girl. She's got a bunch shirt on.
Over here, boys.
No.
Okay.
So this is how you do it, and there's how Rosie sits.
Yeah,
Now,
I do. Oh, 5 new ones right now.
I can tell that tarantula's super bad. How does an aggressive tarantula act? It raises its body way up in the air.
Whatever you
The
want.
fangs come out, and basically it looks kind of menacing. Basically, she's just she's got all her feet on the ground. She's totally relaxed.
Look how easy this is.
She's used to this. I don't know how many people have held her, but she's about 12 years old.
Ben, sit on your butt, son.
Drop something.
Put your hands out. Thank you.
And we're gonna
Not your
head
turn,
around
baby.
this way.
We're gonna wait our turn, okay?
Everybody will get a chance.
There you go, young man.
Hands on your hands, just like that.
Look at me and smile.
Now this tarantula is 12 years old. It's a female. It's possible, and I hope it lives to be 15 or 20 years old. They're known to live that long, especially in captivity when you take good care of them. What's that? Yep. One of the nicest tarantulas you can get in terms of being able to handle and be gentle. The problem is they are now very, very hard to get. So I always want to be careful when we hold her. Try to keep her close to the ground. Hold her above a cushioned surface. Tarantulas live primarily in the desert northwest, desert southwest. They don't live in the Midwest.
You want to be second?
He's very expressive.
He wants to do it.
And that happens sometimes. When you get close to some kids, and then they go, oh no, I'm not.
Yay!
Okay. That's unlikely because they don't poop very often. Okay, I'm gonna try to get back here, okay?
I am staying as far away from that as possible. But I love it. I love it. It's cute. I'm gonna put it.
And we always just have her kind of basically walk off so you don't really.
If you I don't lightly tap it on the arm, will it make a web?
He doesn't do anything, just kind of walk.
Yeah. Rosie the Rose here. Good job. First time's awesome. Actually, we're gonna go around.
Look at it, Jay. Look at it.
It does help that you have a very calm trainer.
I like it.
And one that doesn't have very sharp claws.
I love it.
It does. It's about all she can do. You ready to give it a try?
I'm gonna give it a try again. Right next to it. Right next to it. I totally never got a try.
What you could handle.
Yeah, does she know? Ask Bruce, I already know. Bruce, how many eyes does Rosie have?
All spiders, this one has 8 eyes.
Okay.
They're not, you can only really see 2 that are big enough to see good, with the naked eye. She does have 6 much smaller eyes in a little cluster around the area.
Maybe we should make sure that we're done. I got a picture. What do you think? Maybe we should make sure.
No, I'm not. He probably did.
I did. And
Thank you for your patience. You did very good.
But I took a picture in my house. I remember. I seen you do it.
And if you pay attention to how I react to you can
Same with all the other bugs.
tell which ones are going to say.
I have an idea.
If you got one
Yeah,
that
there's
rings up,
like a name paper that I can just use.
Check that. Or a scorpion, probably
you got
not.
one that
No, on the other side. Okay,
he looked at me like, crazy.
let's say that.
See, then you got young ladies like her.
I take the whole on your head.
Well, thank you for your patience. I'm glad you decided to spend an hour here at the library. Thanks for coming. And you'll probably, this is the time of the year spiders reach their full size here in Minnesota. So you'll see some big fat orb weavers hanging around and some, fishing spiders. Don't worry, they're Minnesota spiders. They're not they're not highly venomous. They're not going to bite you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Can we get you that big one?